Let me tell you, a big part of my childhood was, in fact, spent playing beloved video game classics, ranging from Metroid to Banjo-Kazooie, and yes, even The Legend of Zelda. And to my surprise this morning, I stumbled across multiple articles saying that Netflix was in the works with Nintendo to create a real-time live-action Legend of Zelda TV series, essentially, released on the internet. And I was like, this sounds fucking cool, this sounds awesome, hope they don't fuck it up. And of course the article I was reading was from TheVerge.com, which you might remember them. They were actually pro-Shirtgate. They actually wrote the article that was condemning Dr. Matt Taylor for wearing his supposedly sexist shirt. Well, you know, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, so I started to read the article, and they start giving suggestions on which actors they think they should play main characters from The Legend of Zelda. And their suggestion for who should play young Link is a female actor. I was like, wow, okay, you know, whatever. Maisie Williams. I'm like, oh, I guess they probably want her to dress up as a boy because she does play kind of a tomboyish young girl character in Game of Thrones. So maybe they want her to like pretend to be a boy, you know, that they could do that, yeah. Because, you know, Link is a boy. Well, I started to read why they suggested Maisie Williams as young Link, and they say, as evidenced by her winning performance in Game of Thrones, Maisie Williams is already brilliant at playing youths, fighting their way through high fantasy worlds. So we're sure she's willing to set forth on a quest to save the princess of her kingdom. Here's the key part. And as for why we would make Link Zelda's love interest a girl instead of a boy, it's because it doesn't matter either way. Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, okay, you know, whatever. Sure, it doesn't matter either way. I get it. You know, we don't have to be chains to our past. We can move on from, you know, the highly polarized genders, right? We don't need men to be masculine and women to be feminine. Even though, biologically speaking, they're already inclined to be that way, so it seems counterproductive to try to switch your gender, even though you were already born a certain way. But you know what? Progress, right? Progressivism. Let's move on. We don't need men to play male characters. We can get women and just swap them out inadvertently. Who cares if Link from the video game is one of the key roles is him going out to save the damsel in distress, which has been an archetype throughout history because men and women are different. And because we're different, we serve different functions in reality. No, we don't need that. We have progress, right? So I kept looking through the article. I'm like, all right, well, whatever, you know, fuck it. And then the second suggestion for an actor is Natalie Dormer as adult Link. So even adult Link, you suggest a female adult should play the male character. Okay, I mean, you know what? Gender equality. You know what? As I scrolled through this article, I expected to see some of the female characters like Princess Zelda from the game. I expected that they would suggest a man should play Princess Zelda, right? I mean, we're moving forward, right? Gender equality, right? We can just swap men and women out of roles without even considering the functional aspects of what they're doing, right? So I expected when they suggest in this article who should play the Princess Zelda character, maybe Brad Pitt. Let's get Brad Pitt to play Zelda, the princess from the game, right? Gender equality, right? That's what The Verge is all about. Here we go. Wait a minute, what's happening here? Quaveen Wallace as young Zelda. Wait, they want a girl to play the girl? They want a girl actor to play the girl character from the game? Okay, well maybe I'll okay, let me keep scrolling. I'm sure they'll be consistent in their supposed calls for gender equality, right? There's no way that they're just a bunch of white knight pussy whipped cowards who worship women on the altar because they can never get a piece of fucking ass, and so they worship women hoping that the women will reciprocate with a little bit of sex. There's no way that they would suggest inverting the gender roles of a character, but only apply it to male characters with a female actor. There's no way. So I kept scrolling. Oh, adult Zelda, right? Maybe adult Zelda, the princess from the game, will have a male actor suggestion, right? No! Antonia Thomas. And okay, I'm like, wait a minute. So why what are they doing? I don't understand this. What are they doing? Okay. So wait. Now, again, finally, they're okay with having a male actor play the male character when it's the evil fucking Ganondorf. It's almost like they don't mind when male actors represent male characters of the game, when it just reinforces a stereotype that men are evil fuckers like Ganondorf. And so they go on. So that's the weird thing here. For every female character from the game, these little weasels never recommend that a man play the role. So talk about bullshit. You know, fundamentally, this is a war against reality. Feminism is a denial of reality. I mean, look, we live in this world, this politically correct post-feminist world, where the masses are told that to even say there's a difference, a substantive difference between men and women, is politically incorrect. Which is so ignorant, because men and women are fucking different, alright? I mean, talk about, people say, oh, the sacred feminine has been repressed. We have to restore the sacred feminine. And the supposed savior for the sacred feminine, to save the feminine from oppression, the supposed savior is feminism. And yet I would argue that feminism is actually what has helped repress and destroy the sacred feminine. Because the sacred feminine is feminine for a reason. It's not masculine. These are fundamental differences, both in an energetic sense as well as in a biological sense, between the sexes. If you want to restore the sacred feminine, you don't do that by brainwashing and shaming women into being manly. I've said this before. Feminism is anti-femininity. Okay, it's not pro-woman, it's not pro-femininity. Feminism should really just be called masculinism. Feminism is anti-femininity because it convinces women to sacrifice their femininity in exchange for masculinity by mimicking what men do. Feminists consistently shame women who want to be housewives, who want to stay home, nurture the home condition, serve their husband, and have kids and focus on their kids. Okay? Which is weird because feminists have nothing wrong. If a woman wants to go work at a daycare, taking care of kids, there's nothing wrong with that. But if a woman wants to stay home and just take care of her own kids, shocking, she already nurtured them for 9 months in her womb, why not continue what you've already been doing for 9 months once they're born? Why is it that it's perfectly acceptable for a woman to get a job at a daycare taking care of someone else's kids, but if she wants to stay home and traditionally take care of her own kids, that's demonized and shamed by modern feminism? Why is that? Well, one part of it is that one of those two jobs, either being at a daycare, taking care of someone else's kids, or staying home and taking care of your own kids, one of those can be taxed and the other can't. Notice that. Same function, taking care of kids, one is shamed, one isn't. When a woman leaves the house and enters corporate America, she hasn't liberated herself. She simply exchanged one male boss for another. Except at least when she was at home serving her husband, it was the man she loved, and it was the man who helped give birth to her own fucking kids, and then she can nurture her own kids. Yet she left the house to go work at a fucking daycare to take care of somebody else's kids, working for a daycare company that may very well be run by a male boss. Maybe not necessarily, but the point remains. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the fucking government can come and tax her ass to death because she's getting a paycheck in the workplace. That's only one element to it, of course. So what we have here is a denial of reality. Feminism is a war against femininity. You want to restore the sacred feminine? Here's how you do it. You stop shaming women for being feminine. Okay? There is such a thing as femininity. There is such a thing as masculinity. These are real forces in the world, both in terms of how we express ourselves as individuals, but also in terms of our biology. And that, for the most part, if you're born a man, you're more likely to be masculine because your whole biology is geared in that trajectory anyways. And if you're born a woman, you're more likely to be feminine because your whole biology is geared in that trajectory anyways. Okay? The sacred femininity is under assault, strangely enough. It might not seem that way, but it is. Because women in general, again, are being shamed. And if you want to restore the sacred feminine, you have to give women permission to be feminine again. You have to stop shaming women because they don't make as much money as a man. Okay? You have to stop shaming women because, now let me be clear. When I say that they don't make as much money as a man, I'm not referring to the whole wage gap bullshit, because that statistic has been debunked before. The idea that women get paid less than men for the same amount of work per dollar is a largely debunked statistic. The statistics that say that they only make 70 cents to every dollar a man makes, that's bullshit. But I won't go into that now. When I say stop shaming women for not making as much money as a man does, what I'm really saying is stop shaming women for not mimicking what men do. Stop shaming women because women would rather stay home and serve a man. See, that sounds so like slavish, doesn't it? It sounds so politically incorrect. What, you want a woman to serve a man? Well, listen, women want to serve men anyways, okay? All right, look, the average woman nowadays, she goes ahead and she gets married under the politically correct theme and ideology of feminism. She'll find a man, she'll find a nice guy who does what she fucking tells him to do. She pats him on the head and he takes out the trash, right? And they seem to be in love, don't they? And yet at the end of the week, a woman who's not satisfied with the man she's married to because that man is just not in charge enough, is not masculine enough, and doesn't make her feel feminine, she's going to be deeply unsatisfied on an energetic, biological level. And you know what she's going to do? She's going to do what a lot of women do nowadays. Infidelity. People cheat on each other nonstop nowadays because, number one, they get into marriages under politically correct yet unrealistic notions about what it means to be in love and attracted to each other. And number two, they're ultimately not fulfilled with their partner because people are in denial of who they are as biological creatures and energetic creatures. So what does a woman do? Yeah, I don't, little hubby, you know what? I don't want you to be, in charge and stuff. We're equal, okay? So don't worry, don't try to control and direct our relationship. Don't do any of that, hubby, because I'm a feminist and I believe in gender equality. And then Friday night she goes out to the club with her friends and gets fucked by the first alpha male she sees. And she can't control herself because she has so much unfulfilled sexual desire that she can't help it. And she's going to cheat on you. And so the husband's at home, I wonder where my honey's at. Where's my honey at? And then it turns out that she's getting her dose of masculinity because she can't help it. This doesn't work. People need to be real and honest about who they are and what they desire. Okay? So if you want to restore the sacred feminine, we have to stop shaming women for being feminine. And at the core of what femininity is, as an energetic quality that's tied into your biology, it's about submission to masculinity. There's a reason why, okay? These are not coincidences in reality. There's a reason why, in order to create life, all right, life here, we're talking about life. In order to create living beings, babies, humans, masculinity and femininity must come together in the act of sex. This is not a coincidence, okay? This is not a coincidence that the very world that we appreciate today, both in terms of the humans who've been born and died over thousands of years, or hundreds of thousands of years, however far back it goes, to the world around us that we see with skyscrapers and cities and highways and roads. All this stems from the fact that at one point, masculinity and femininity came together to create life and continue the human species, the human progeny. A woman must submit and yield to a man's assertive masculinity in terms of the act of sex in order for life to be created. She has to spread her legs, she has to yield herself to the man and allow the man to enter her and implant his seed of assertion into her. Okay? These are not coincidences. These are facts of reality that feminism, for some reason, seems to shame. And of course, not all feminism, because there are different types of feminists, but probably 80% of feminism, you can tell both in their open stated actions as well as in their subliminal intentions that you can tell that they're pushing towards. They don't like these things. It's a rejection of reality. And it's not a coincidence that, you know, a lot of feminists, probably a good chunk of them, are self-hating, fat, and are ugly. And the reason that they reject these basic facts of biological and energetic reality is because they didn't get the masculine attention that they crave deep down between their legs. Straight up forward. It's not a goddamn coincidence that so many feminists are clearly just self-hating, sexually frustrated. But the solution to being sexually frustrated is not trying to tear down the world for everybody else, okay? Come on. That doesn't fucking work. So yeah, it's sickening. It's sickening to see, okay, you know what? If you want to say that women can do what men can do, whatever. But at least be consistent. The Verge, be consistent. Why would they say that the main character Link from the frickin' video game can be played by a woman actor, but for all the woman characters from the video game, they never suggest a man should play it? That is fucking bullshit. That is hypocritical bullshit. What fucking sick agenda are these psychopaths pushing? They claim it's gender equality. But do you see gender equality in this article? No, you see fucking sexism, straight up. It's pro-feminist sexism. But they get away with it because they play the victim. Oh, I'm just a progressive liberal and I just care and I just want to be, help everybody. Yeah. These are authoritarian Nazis who probably have dreams about, erecting a dictatorial government to impose their sick denial of reality agenda onto the whole fucking planet. So yeah, the sacred feminine. You want to know what the sacred feminine is? Sacred feminine is a woman's natural innate desire to submit and serve a man. But feminism has made women guilty for that. So yeah, the average woman will go and she'll get married to this passive, obedient guy because, gender equality. And then she goes out to the clubs, plausible deniability, rationalizations in her mind. No, I just go to the clubs because I like to dance. I like to dance. It's fun. If the only reason you went to clubs was to dance, because you like having fun, why are you wearing miserably uncomfortable high heel shoes? I mean, look, last I checked, high heels are a sexual tool. They accentuate the woman's leg, and it makes her look kind of sexier and taller. But if you're only going to the club to dance, why wear what women universally regard as painfully uncomfortable high heel shoes? Why not just go in some dancing shoes or something like that? Well, it's obvious. You don't just go to clubs because you want to dance. You go to clubs because you want to get fucked. You want to meet some confident dude who comes up and asserts himself in a masculine way, and you want to be feminine and submit. You want to let go. That's one of the catchphrases for the 50 Shades of Grey marketing campaign for the movie. Lose control, because that's the feminine. The feminine wants to let go, let loose. She wants to let go of control and just yield. Yield, get it? Masculine asserts itself into the woman yields to the masculine assertion. They don't teach you this in school, and I think that's what white knights need. They need a lesson in basic biological, reality. So the fact is that the average woman, because she's not getting masculinity in her marriage, all she's getting is an obedient guy who thinks his wife loves him because he takes out the trash when he tells her to. Deep down, she's miserably unfulfilled. And it's like, oh, I'm just going to go to the club, hubby. I'll be back later. I'm going to go to the club with my friends because I just want to dance. I just like dancing. Okay, sweetie, I'll see you later. Bye. She goes. She's like, oh, I'm just dancing. She's taking shots. She put on a bunch of makeup. Why would you put on makeup? If you're just dancing, there's no reason to put on makeup. And then women say, oh, I just put on makeup because I want to feel good. Look, that's the biggest bullshit. Okay, makeup feels good because it makes you feel good in terms of other people's opinions of you. Let me ask you, what's more liberated? A woman who has to hide her face behind pounds of makeup? Or a woman who can go out into the world, have fun, be happy, and be successful without having to put fucking makeup on her face? Again, I'm not condemning makeup. I'm just making sure that women are obvious and honest about why they put on makeup. It's to enhance your value in a world that judges women on the way that they look. I'm not condemning makeup. I'm just saying be honest about why you fucking put the makeup on. So the woman puts on a bunch of makeup. No, I just like to feel good. Okay, makeup makes you feel good in a world that judges you on the way that you look, and people are judging you mostly in the sexual marketplace. That's why makeup is scientifically designed by the cosmetic industry to enhance a woman's features and make her seem more feminine. Again, why would they make it seem more feminine if femininity is against these gender roles in the first place? That's what makeup and high heels and the skimpy outfits are for. Stop pretending like it's for fun. You go out to the clubs and the bars with your friends, not to have fun. Well, yeah, you are to have fun, but it's not the fun you claim. You go out there because you're hoping you'll find a masculine man who comes along and gives it to you. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to shatter the bullshit that's being pushed by these feminist propagandizers. Anyways, a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but there you have it, guys. Sheer feminist bullshit. Don't take feminism seriously. In most cases, maybe not all cases, but in most cases, feminism is a tool of denial. It's often a tool of elitists who do benefit from, it's almost like a form of population control. In essence, if you convince the masses to not be masculine and not be feminine, that polarity is the foundation of life. Literally. I mean, you need a man and a woman. A man who can assert his masculinity, which manifests in the form of an erection, and you need a woman who yields her femininity, which manifests in the form of a moist vagina that is receptive to a penis, to have sex and to ultimately have kids. Literally, the foundation of life on earth depends on a man and a woman, masculine and feminine, coming together. And yet, almost like as a form of eugenics or population control, feminism seeks to extinguish that polarity of opposites attracting, which is the foundation of community, neighbors, family, life, etc., empowerment, the beginning of everything.
For Neo, greatness began with a choice: the red pill or the blue pill.
Now you can make that choice too, because now I'm introducing the red pill. The red pill contains the singular, powerful ingredient, L-theanine. If you choose to take the red pill, then click the screen right here
to learn more. Andrew from South Carolina took the red pill, and he says, "It works exactly as advertised. I took it during meditation and I could finally focus." Jessica from California took the red pill, and she says, "I felt calm and focused. I am pretty creative, but after taking it, the ideas were flowing." People from all over the world have taken the red pill. It's your turn to choose. Click the screen to learn more.